every once in a while I'll go around my engines and just kind of touch up. Like I see this little spot right there. Sometimes you think it's a spot and it's dust, but you know, as I see, there's one right there.
What do you use for blowing that stuff out? Just a computer blower?
Yeah, if you want, yeah. There's some of that white foam dust on there. Yeah, I tend to use the blue shop towels on the engine. Tricks to wiping this engine down because of the detail on it.
Hey, Bill.
I'll tend to take.
Oh, that look like Bill Jones. Good.
There's Texas plates on it.
Well, old buddy of mine in Houston. Whoo.
Stranger things are happening.
That's right. He's getting ready to get out.
What I do with these things is I'll take this towel, and this is easier when it's warm. And by the way, this discoloration around here disappoints me. They insulated the smoke box real well inside, but the stack itself, you know, from where the two pieces meet, where the collar here and that meet, from there on up, this, just from running a couple times, has already taken on that patina. And that's, I mean, that disappointed me because I figured I'd let you do that to it. I take these towels and I'll slide them underneath the handrails and just kind of work them around like this.
Yeah.
This engine has a couple spots. This little piece here is only held on. It sits in a little slot, and then there's a screw right there. And it's cast, so you don't want to be bending it back and forth. You will break it. This pipe coming into it comes off of this compressor. It is super glued there. Okay, so clean around that carefully. This little pipe here is pretty much trapped behind that, so it's super glued in there, and it should stay put. Okay. The other piece that's custom on here is Hans told me to make this one longer. He told me open up a little slot in the running board, make that longer, and it looks like it hooks up to the other pipe on the other side. It actually bypasses it, but it bypasses it right all the way back underneath the running board. See, they tell you, Astor told you to just end it at the running board. Well, that always looks kind of stupid. Where's that pipe go? So Hans had me make it a millimeter or two longer, and then it runs down just past, and the other pipe that comes off of the fitting that's on the other side, this little piece here, has a pipe that goes up to meet it. So it's supposed to look like that's all one piece. Let me see, what else on here I need to tell you about? These are cast. There's a pipe here, and there's a tell them like two tiny little screws. Oh, I know, the reverser. This bar, because you were radio controlling it, Hans said because the way they make it bend with the taper of the boiler, I put a lot of bind on it, and he said it overworked the servo. So he said only put two stands in, so I put one here and one here. There is a hole for one there and one there. They're in the bag with your parts, but they're not on. They could be put on if you ever wanted to. Those holes are so small and so inconspicuous that it was a good item to leave off, and it makes the servo is easier. There's plenty of drag on that thing. It's not going anywhere. And if you ever took the servos out to run it manually without radio control, by the way, all you do is unbolt the servos and pull them out. Nothing else needs to be changed. You're ready to go. You would unbolt this. You would take this screw out and this screw out, and slide this back over this way and kind of rotate it. You have to fidget it around a little bit, but you would pull that right off, and it would come out and away from the mechanical reverser, and you'd be able to work it just. You don't have to change a thing to it. It does not have the ratchet spring installed, but it doesn't need it. I was working it before I put the radio in, and I was like, why would they put a spring in here? It's perfect the way it is. So, and then of course the throttle. If you took the bottom servo out, you would just pop this off of there and that thing, and you're back to the original. So there are no holes drilled into it that weren't there from the factory. Hans had the factory put this one in, and he stood his throttle servo up and down. But to do that, he had to run the tube for his gauge over, so it pointed out this window right behind the sight glass. Well, then he partially obscured the water glass. And then you can only read it from the side. Well, I didn't like that. I like to read mine from the back. That's the way I do mine. There's enough tubing on that gauge, the pressure gauge, right. You can move that to a lot of different places, but you don't want to move it several times. So, but that's about it for that. And then battery. Unplug this, and then to unplug this, I just pull it up and just, what I do is I just get it up here where I can grab a hold of this thing.
Oh, you're unplugging.
Yeah, I'm just going to unplug the battery and just take it and just pull it out, and you're done. And just leave those two in, and that's it. So, I mean, as far as that goes, so I would have to sit there and play with the radio for a little bit, watch what's moving, see how much you're moving, just get yourself familiar with.
Question aside, when I get ready to bind this with my other engines, I just do the same way I was before.
Okay, but
now this is programmed though, this is on.
Right, yeah, you're going to reset all your travel limits now. Something
What I did before though, I had to test the travel limits
okay.
on the engines.
All right, well, that's probably a good thing. This one doesn't give you as much movement there.
Tell me what is the reason for the travel limit?
Okay, the physical limitations of the servo are from factory. There's 60 degrees of rotation on the shaft. Okay, that's what they call 100% travel. Our old Spectrums gave you 150% in both directions. So that gave you, if you used all of it, it gave you 90 degrees of sweep. It gave you an additional 30 degrees of rotation, 15 degrees in each direction. This new radio only gives you 25 additional degrees. You only go to 125%. So instead of 60, you can have a total of 75 degrees of rotation about the shaft. So that's the big physical difference of what they did with the control and being able to control. When you bind this, you put the binding plug in where the battery goes.
Yeah.
Okay, as always, and then plug the battery into any other one that's not being used. And then you have to read in the book, but you pull and hold the trainer switch. There is no button on the back. Remember the old one had a button? Okay, that's gone. This one you pull and hold the trainer switch until, I think it tells you it goes from, it goes from blinking to not blinking or something. It takes about 4 or 5 seconds, but yeah, that's it. So that's different about it. Like I said, the difference in the how much servo travel you can dial in. This doesn't let you dial as much in. The basic control is the same. The display gives you your battery voltage down here, 5.5 volts. That's fully charged. Instead of like 11 or so when they're fully charged. And I don't know what this works down to. It never dropped below about 5.
2 hours, didn't you?
Oh yeah, and it only went down from like 5.5 to now it's down to 5.3 from us playing around with it. But they say charge it overnight with a little charger. And if you ever need to put a really good charge, you can put those batteries. They make little AA wall charge batteries.
Yeah, I've got those.
You can pop them out of here. That's what I liked about this. You didn't have to go buy a special charger to charge these out.
Right.
Now you do need a good charger to charge the receiver pack out. Yeah, that you're going to need one. So when you buy a battery pack for that, you want to get a charger for it. I recommend a programmable quick charger, and I recommend Steve has the same one I did. He didn't know what to buy, and he was having trouble with his batteries, and I told him what to buy, and he went and he is the exact same charger I do.
I may have one.
It's
sort of a great deal. You can adjust it to 6 mAh.
You program it, and it'll either do nickel metal hydrates, NiCads, or it'll also do the new
well, I'll look at Steve's.
What
but I think I got one.
the new batteries out are the lithium.
Okay.
So it does lithiums, nickel metal hydrates, or NiCads. And you program charge rate, and then it does a full test thing on it before it begins to charge. And those chargers ran us about $100.
I think that's going to be because I got some of that RC Airline 900.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I bought to charge the battery.
You might be, then you probably have a good one, and it may work just slightly different. I recommend that for these receivers, so you get a good full charge out, and it won't overcharge. So you can take those out. I think the polarity on that thing is weird. Oh, on your charger, take them out, and they also have this plug, so you can recharge that receiver pack with this charger. The only problem is you don't know when it has a full charge, and it'll probably take about 3 days to charge that thing. Yeah. But that does fit. Were you able to get that open?
Yeah, go ahead.
Were you having trouble with it?